Hey friends, welcome back to Pain to Passion Live. Yay, I get to talk to Ashlee Fay. I'm so excited. I got to meet Ashlee at her amazing event, Embrace Your Ambition, this past summer in Denver. And I'm so glad that our paths have crossed and I've gotten to know this amazing human. You guys, if you haven't heard of her yet, you are going to love her. You're going to want to follow her and all the things. But hi, Ashlee. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. I adore you. I just told you that. I totally adore you. I think you're like the cutest woman alive. I just think I love your post. I love your personality. I just love you. So I'm super excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, you just totally made my day. I'll have to tell my daughter because I tell her every day, you are the cutest person ever. And I'll just have to tell her someone else thinks that I'm the cutest.
Look, I did it. I'm the cutest now. Yes, I do. I think you're just adorable. I just think you're so cute. I just love you. So
oh, well, thank you so much. That's super sweet. But yeah, I'm just so thrilled that I get to chat with you today. Like I said, this is an amazing woman and you guys are going to love her story. I have gone away from reading people's bios on the podcast because I feel like that can get a bit dry. And also I've realized that when people tell a little bit about themselves, that some juicy little tidbits can tend to come in. So why don't you tell us who you are, where you are, what you do, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So my name's Ashlee Fay. Fay's my grand's middle name and obviously mine. So everybody knows me by Ashlee Fay, which is kind of cool. I like that, her legacy, will live on. I have 3 daughters. I have one that just turned 14, a 9, and a 6-year-old. They're awesome. Oh my gosh, they're so awesome. And my husband, I have a husband, he's in special forces. And so we've gone through a lot, we've been through a lot of ups and downs. And at some point while he was away, I thought, man, I'm going to build my business. And so that's kind of how I am where I am today, is really going all in and realizing it's okay to do things for me and not just everyone else, not just my kids. And so today I get to speak all over the country, hopefully world soon. And we host traveling events with a big one always in Denver every June. And so, it's crazy how I got here and what we're doing today, but God is so good, right? And he's just led me down a path of really realizing that I am worthy and I am enough and I am chosen, and being able to kind of see myself the way he sees me. And so today I get to live my dream, and speak and travel and throw events. And it's been incredible. So
that is so cool. I kind of resonated with what you said about you realize you could do things for you.
Yeah.
And then you kind of launched into a bunch of stuff. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, because especially, my audience is probably 99.9% women.
Yeah.
And that's something that we tend to struggle with. So can you share about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So after my mom passed away, it's been 11 years, just over 11 years. I was really angry. I guess I was in a place of stuck. I felt broken, right? And I felt very stuck. But the thing was, I stayed in that place for so long, and I always put on a brave face. I always took care of my kids. My husband was special forces. He was gone a lot. I had to be the mom, the dad. I had, to do all the things. And so I really stayed in a place of, I don't want to say I wasn't content, because I had 3 beautiful babies, it's not that I wasn't a happy person. It's just that I wasn't doing what I know God put me on this earth to do.
Yeah.
And so, one day, I sat down to do bills. I had negative $54 in the checking account. Everybody kind of knows the story, but I'm going to share a little bit of it anyway.
Yes, please.
And for me, I don't know what that number, because to be honest with you, I've seen negative numbers in my account prior to that. And I've seen negative numbers in my account after that. If I'm 100% honest, while I was building the business, right? But something about that number was a moment of, I don't want to survive anymore. I want to live. I'm tired of sitting. I'm tired of being just a mom, just a wife. And not that those are bad things. Those are my priorities over all things. But I considered myself just a mom, just a wife, just Ashlee. And I prayed and I felt like God was like, go all in on the side gig, which I was making those glitter tumblers that everybody's seen. I have one behind me back there. The first thing I said, no. I said, I don't want to be in production of those forever. Because in my mind, I thought either this is going to fail and I'm going to, because I've had businesses before and I didn't go all in. And so I'm like, either it's going to fail or I'm going to go all in and I'm going to be stuck in production of making these tumblers all the time. But I was so desperate. I was like, okay, God, I'm going to listen. I'm just going to listen, for once, I'm going to hear you and I'm going to do what you're asking me to do, even though I don't think it's the right path, whatever. And so I started to do that. I started to sell them out. I did live sales with them, which a lot of people weren't doing. Now you kind of see live sales everywhere. But at the time, this was almost 5 years ago, that wasn't a huge thing. And so I did live sales. I would sell out and I got into that production state, but we were doing well, financially things were changing. And I do remember thinking like, man, I'm in the production. You see, God, I'm in the production. See what I was trying to say? But I had someone ask me how I got started. And in that moment, everyone thinks the changing moment was the -54. And yes, while that propelled me off my butt and made me do something, the change was the night someone asked me how I got started. And instead of sharing with them how I had done crafts my whole life, I've sold them on the side my whole life, I felt God tell me to share with them the -$54 story. And I shared that, and girl, I cried. I looked like a crazy person. I was like boo-hooing, like it wasn't like a sweet cry. It was like a full like snot cry.
I love it.
On this live of like a couple hundred people. And I went to bed and I told Brian, I said, man, I ruined the business. No one will take me seriously. Like everyone's going to think I'm a fraud, all this stuff. And I woke up to just so many messages and just tons of new followers because that video kept getting shared out.
Wow.
And it was like a crazy experience, and
yeah,
that was a moment though for me of realizing that I want to share everything.
Yeah.
I want to share the good and the bad because I even to this day, I will look at Instagram reels and be like, man, how do they have it all together? Like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And I have to remind myself, they don't have it all together. They just have different priorities, and their priority is making the Instagram or the TikTok or the Facebook, really nice and beautiful. Right. and that's not mine. And so, I share the good and the bad. And so I've shared as much as I can. One thing that I've shared, because I know you mentioned this, is like the just a mom or feeling bad for wanting something more than what I already had. Right. But one thing I share with them is like, when the business from that point really started to shift, it really started to explode. I turned it into a shopping network. So I didn't have to be in production. I became a coach. I didn't have to be in production. I got to speak on stages and podcasts. So everything's kind of changed from that moment. But there was a moment in there when I remember thinking like, I am so selfish. I'm so selfish for wanting so much when I have 3 beautiful babies and a home and a husband. And here I am not volunteering at their school anymore and not coaching cheerleading and not doing this and not doing that. And I had a moment and I shared that with, my followers of like, I feel selfish, but I have to remind myself that I'm here for a purpose. God put me on this planet for a purpose. And yes, while part of that is to be their mother, I can't not do what I'm called to do too. And I started saying no to volunteering, and I stopped going to their school. I stopped being the parent that kind of did everything. And that was really difficult in the time. But now looking back and watching my kids grow from that has been huge because they've gotten to see me live my dream. Yeah. They know more about business, girl, than I did by the time I was 30. I mean, like they, know what I mean? Like,
it's awesome. It's
incredible. I've just kind of included them into everything that I do, because them seeing me live my dream is more important for me than volunteering at their school, because they are seeing me do what I feel God put me on this planet to do. And so for those that feel selfish or that feel like they're giving things up for their kids to chase your dreams, it's okay. My kids are so much happier now without me doing all those things because I'm happy. because I get to live my purpose and they get to see that. And I tell people all the time, this is like the thing for me, right? Everybody has a why. I want to leave an inheritance for them, but more so I want to leave a legacy inside of them.
Yeah.
Knowing that they should go for their dreams, knowing that they can do it and have it all. And yes, saying yes to the dream might be saying no to something else, but that thing you're saying no to isn't the thing that's meant for you. And someone will step into that position you said no for, that it is meant to, right? So we're giving that opportunity to someone who that's what they truly love and inspired to do, and being able to say no to that and yes to what we truly love and what we're meant to do. That's huge. That's huge.
Yes. So good. I mean, I think like I mentioned earlier, most of my audience is women, and we just need to hear this message. I feel like over and over and over again, because we get such mixed signals, you know, especially, let's be honest, Christian women.
Yeah.
Because we have this like kind of convoluted morality radar that is off. Like being selfless is so different than what we think it is.
Right.
And I know that God has called us to honor one another, and the Bible says to treat others as better than yourself, but we've twisted these things, right? To be like, that means that I grovel and I just give everything I have to what I think is supposed to be what I'm doing, which again, no shade to the moms who go to school all the time and do all of the things. Like everyone's calling is so different. Exactly. But my question here is, because all of this revolves around you being authentically you and stepping into your authenticity, which why would God make you the way that you are and then say, no, don't use that, right? That's really the kicker for me. But I'm curious because like you mentioned, your mom passed away, and I know that was extremely challenging. Oh, yeah. Your husband's been gone a lot, and that's really challenging. So many challenges that you faced. Like, how has stepping into that authenticity and realizing that you're free to do that, how has that like healed you and set you free on the inside?
Oh my gosh, that's been huge. I mean, we all have scars, right? We all have scars. And I remember at the very first Embrace Your Ambition, Denver 2021, I was praying the night before I was going to give my bigger speech, right? Of the ones that I had given. And I felt God be like, I want you to talk about your mom. I want you to scratch everything that you thought you were going to do.
Wow.
And I want you to share about your mom. And I told I said, Marcus, I feel like God's prompting me to share about my mom, but like, I can't. I've never opened up. I've never shared with anyone how hard that was and how I lost my faith in that moment and how angry I was with God. I've never shared that with people. I can't do this. And Marcus is like, well, it's up to you. And even to the moment before I got on the stage, I sat back in the thing with my sister in the very back of the room. And I was like, do I share? Do I not share? She's like, I don't know. But if you share, I need to leave the room because I'll just start crying the whole time. Like, you know, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I got up there and it was just like a release. And I just shared everything about losing her and what that felt like and how I got out of it and all the things. And I walked off that stage at peace, you know, like, just like, wow. I bawled like a baby. Listen, yeah. I will not, there's just no point where I can be on stage and share all of that without having a little bit of a
cry, for sure.
You know? But having that moment of like crying like that in front of them and like sharing my mom's legacy, it changed things for me. And I thought, man, from this point on, I'm going to share about her and I'm going to be open about it, because my brokenness turns into bravery when I share, and my bravery can be someone else's breakthrough. Someone's going through what I went through, and they're looking and they're trying to figure out how they can get past that brokenness feeling. And I have done that. I've been able to do that. And so being vulnerable and open like that, I've just realized how many more people I impact. I can tell you, I promise you, I get more followers from the lives when I am just being so honest to myself. Like I can't get on a live and people don't know when I'm upset or if I've had a bad day. You know what I mean? Or if I've had a great day, like I'm just not one of those people who can hide those things. And I have gained more followers on the times when I have been not like 1,000% succeeding. Like the times I've been climbing the mountain versus the times that I'm like, I just did this. Right. And so I'm like, I'm going to share all of that because people need to see that. We all have scars and so often we're trying to hide them, but what if we didn't? What if we were able to put them out there and impact lives and create a ripple effect? And we were all like, okay about who we've used to be and what mistakes we've made and all the hard things that we've gone through. And we can use that to help each other. And so it's really like, it's hard. It's still hard to be vulnerable. But I know what it's brought to me after I've done it. And I've always heard the saying, you don't talk about an open wound. So I've always been very like in the moment. If I'm, I don't know, having a fight with my husband, I'm not going to get on and tell you about the fight.
Yeah.
But in a few days when I can reflect on that and that has healed, I can get on and be very vulnerable with this is what happened. And this is what I took away from it. And this is, where I'm at now and how we've resolved things. And so, that has helped me heal so much to be able to share once I'm to a point where I can share and I'm not in the moment of it happening. Right. But man, it's made a huge difference. And really, honestly, not just with me sharing open on the internet, but like between my husband and I, when was in the military, he still is, but he's not gone near as much. He was gone all the time. And I would build up walls, because I felt like that's how I had to function. That's how I had to get things done, was to build up these walls between me and everyone so I could focus on being the mom and the dad. Right. And, so me being vulnerable to other people has actually seeped into our relationship. And we've been able to talk on levels that like never have before. And same way with the kids. And so, man, it's hard. It's really hard and it's really scary. And you are going to have people who are not a huge fan of that, and who want to say things to hurt you. And I just try to remember it's not really about me. Right. It's not even really about them. It's what God needs us to do. And for me, I feel like he needs me to share all of it, the whole story, so that other women have hope and have faith and can see that they can do these things.
Yeah. And just to lift the stigma of shame off of our stories too.
Yeah.
So many of us carry the stories from our past or even our present and feel so much shame because it's like left in the dark.
Yes.
Like shame breeds in the dark. And when we bring it into the light, yes, it can be very scary because you don't know how people are going to respond or react. But I think that's why it's so important to have voices like yours out there that are doing this, because you're showing us like, I'm coming out here and I'm telling you the truth, which the truth sets us free, right? I'm telling you the truth. And you're showing us like we can do that without shame. And there's healing, there's liberation in it, there's freedom in it. And I think that's just beautiful. And I was actually going to ask you, I know you already brought in your husband, but I was going to ask you, like, how has that affected your like one-on-one relationships, like even how you build friendships and things like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, so you mentioned something about the shame. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good, because my thing for 2023, well, my word's surrender. I want to surrender it all to him, but I also want to find all sides of me and understand all sides of me, because we have this shame and we have these dark sides of ourselves that we try to hide away. And in reality, you need all of those things to be the whole that God made you to be. Right.
Yes.
And so anytime I'm talking to another person, my husband and I just had this conversation, I'm trying to always see the good in them, because here's the thing, life is like a mirror, right? And what you see in someone else, you have in yourself. So if you're seeing the bad qualities, guess what, sis? You might look in yourself. You know what I mean? But if you see the good qualities, the light in someone, when you look at someone and you just see that sparkling light and you're just so attracted to that, the only reason you can see that is because you can see it in yourself. So knowing that though, and then being myself and being vulnerable with every person that I meet, I have gotten so many like deep friendships, not surface level. I actually have a hard time, like, oh, girl, when at church, I don't know if your church does this, but I hate that my church does this, and I love my church. But when they say like, okay, everyone turn around and answer this question to each other.
No, it's the worst.
I hate it. Because I've really come into like being my own, and like, I don't want to have conversations that are surface level. Like I want to have deep conversations on a level that every time we walk away from each other, we've both grown, whether spiritually or mentally or whatever. And we both feel like we've gotten something out of it. So I hate those little small talk. So like with all my friends, like I come into that relationship very open and honest, and knowing that life is a mirror. And, I'm looking for the good qualities, I don't want to find that. But even if I see something that, I don't know, kind of irks me a little bit, it's like a way to look inside of me. Why does that bother me? It's good. Because I have a little bit of it in myself too. Right. Yeah. And my husband and I just had this conversation because I called him a procrastinator the other day. We were just talking, and I was like, yeah, well, you're a procrastinator. And as soon as I said it, I was like, gosh darn it, that means I'm a procrastinator. And then I can look at all the times when I have procrastinated and be like, okay, now I need to accept that side of me. How has that side of me actually helped me in some ways? And how can I allow it to be without like overtaking? Right. And so, I'm on this whole venture of trying to find all sides of me and be vulnerable and use all sides of me and understand what all sides of me are and find that in everyone else too. So, it's me. I'm just,
yeah, that's a good perspective. I think that we should all take, of being willing to look at ourselves if we see something in someone else.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter this morning and Beth Moore actually did a tweet. I love Beth Moore. I'm like the biggest Beth Moore fan in the world, but she did a tweet talking about like the people who are the most, I don't remember exactly the word that she used, but the loudest about specific things that they don't like, are probably doing those exact same things in the darkness, which is really what we're talking about right now. And clinically too, just knowing what I know about mental health and stuff, there's so much truth to that, of that mirroring of like, oh, if someone is saying something bad to me about me, like you said earlier, like it's really not about me.
Right.
And we don't always have to say like, oh, it's because they're bad either.
Right.
But it's flipping that script back onto ourselves and saying like, why is it that this is bothering me so intensely? Like, why do I feel the way that I feel in my gut right now? And instead of really like getting upset with that person and taking on bitterness or whatever, being able to become better ourselves. Like, I think that's a fabulous perspective to have. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about the evolution of Embrace Your Ambition too, because I know all of this story that you've told feeds into that, who you've become over the last few years, the dreams that God put in your heart. Gosh, I'd love to hear about that too. Like when that was planted in your heart. So just share however you want about Embrace Your Ambition, the evolution of that, all that.
Yeah. So it was so crazy. So I was sharing my story. I was going on podcasts. I was doing some virtual events. The Ashlee Fay Shopping Network was like at an all-time high. I had 35 boutiques under me.
Amazing.
We're just killing it, and it was fun. It was really cool being the leader and being able to help these women really step into their light, all these things. And then like right in the middle, I'm like praying, and I feel like God was like, I want you to create a stage that combines business, mindset, and faith. And I was like, one, do I have any time to do this? No, I don't. But, and then my second thought was like, I'm not Rachel Hollis. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, I don't know. She was like my go-to. I just loved, what she brought to the table at that time, all the rise and everything. And he said, I felt like he was like, I know you're not, but like, I want you to bring the aspect of faith. Like, I'm choosing you. And I was like, okay, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, because I have realized over this period of time, that when I'm obedient in what he's asking me to do,
Mm-hmm.
usually works out pretty well for me. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I did not know how to build a conference. All I knew is that I was being called. And if I say yes, then I become chosen, right? That's always been a thing for me, called to chosen.
Love it.
And I called my friend, my best friend, Jess. I was like, so I need you to fly to Colorado. We're going to go find a place to host an event. And I found a great place. We're actually having this next one at the exact same place that we did the very first one. I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
Take it back. Yeah, I'm really excited. And so I found a place. This happened all so fast. Like I said, yes, I found a place. I put the tickets out there. All the women that had been following me, purchased tickets. I started getting on Clubhouse and sharing on there. And that's where I met Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Marcus to be a speaker. Again, still didn't know exactly what I was doing whatsoever. I just knew that I wanted a place where we could be open about our faith, but teach business and teach mindset and be able to pour into people in a place where the people who were coming felt like they were the stars too. And it wasn't just about those on stage. And so I had all these visions in my head of what I wanted it to look like and feel like, but still organizing it every step of the way was me trying to figure it out, trial and error, right? I mean, it was just, but we ended up having that first event, June 2021. And it was magic. I mean, it was crazy. It is like, I spoke about my mom for the first time. I also did an altar call, which was unexpected. So many unexpected things happened, but the main thing everyone said was like, God was in this place. Like God just showed up and it was amazing. And it turned from what I thought would be so much business and mindset to something that was even more faith driven.
Wow.
And it just was incredible. And so that's when I asked Marcus, I'm like, I would love for you to do this with me. How do you feel about us teaming up and doing one in Dallas? And he was like, yeah, like, I feel like everything God has given me dream wise is what you're saying your dream is. Why not team up? We had become really close friends, right? Before that, even though Denver was the very first time we met in person, it was like, it just seemed so right. And so, we scheduled Dallas. We had Trent Shelton there, Amberly Lago, getting some big names. And Dallas has still, I love all of the events we've put on, but Dallas for me, that has still been my favorite because we actually had someone ask us if we would baptize them right there.
Wow.
And so everything just kind of went from what I thought was going to be this small thing to a movement. And God's been in it so much. And I've asked him so many times, like, can I pull this off? Can I do this? And it's always consistent is you can't, but I can. Right. And so I've always been very adamant about like, it's not mine, it's God's, and I'm a chosen vessel. And so wherever he takes it is where he will take it. But I do know that, I know like in my heart of hearts, because when he gave me the vision, it was never like a one-time conference. It was a consistent traveling conference of us pouring into communities, serving communities, doing missions with communities and just spreading his word and growing the kingdom. And so this next conference, our big one will always be in June in Colorado. So our next big one in June, Colorado, we are actually doing a movement called Proud to Pay. And so you can pay what you want or what you need or how much you feel it's worth to get into the door, because we just feel like, once you start something and people see it taking off, everyone has an opinion. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but you have a lot of people coming at you saying, you need to charge more and you need to add this. And why are you charging so little? We get that a lot. And so we did charge more on some of our other events because we felt like, oh, well, this is what we have to do to make this a reality, right? You guys aren't going to be able to make it if you don't pay for things, blah, blah, blah. And so we did. And then we both afterwards were like, man, it's not that we felt bad about charging because what we bring to the table is amazing.
Right.
But how do we reach the people that can't do that?
Yeah.
How do we reach the people that need what we have? And so we prayed on it a lot and we felt like God gave us the green light to do this.
Wow.
And so, now it is a pay what you can, what you feel that it's worth. We don't want anyone to put themselves in a bad position. We just want to get you in the room, the room where your life can be changed. And so we're really excited, a little nervous, but God's got it. And we're just excited to see where it goes from here.
Okay, people, this is what a life of faith looks like.
I know we had so many people, we announced it and so many people were like, this is awesome, but also crazy. And we're like, welcome to crazy faith, guys. This is, this is us going out on a limb and hoping that the tree falls because, God has to have his hand. What's great about this though, honest to God, is that if this works, because the only way it can work is for God to step in, right? Because events are expensive. The only way this works is for God to step in, bring us sponsors or bring us whatever is needed. And when it does, no one can deny that, right?
Absolutely.
All glory has to go to him in that moment. No one can say it wasn't. And so that it's going to be a really cool experience.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. I mean, even as you're talking, I have all of these stories popping into my head, not like from scripture for sure, of the times when God said, do this, and it looked absolutely insane and impossible. And then something incredible happened, but also just historically in my life, in other people's lives, in like so many stories like that, where people did something that seemed absolutely insane, but you're like, well, God said, and when God says, he takes care of it. Right? It's totally in his hands. So I'm really excited to hear what happens. Also, if anyone's listening and you want to sponsor Embrace Your Ambition, I highly recommend. It's a good investment that impacts a ton of people. And I'll also, of course, put all your links in the show notes as well for anyone who wants to find out about the events and go and just be a part of what you do in any way, because it's very, very exciting. Before we go, I would love to hear a little bit about just how all of this has impacted your girls, because I know that they're like your little besties. Oh, they're adorable. And it's been cool to see you being a mom that's doing what you're doing. And I'd like just a little like ground level view of what that's looked like for them.
Well, they all want to speak on the next stage. I'm like, well, guys, it's not exactly how this is going to work. But it is cool to see them step into their own like that, to feel confident enough to do, to do something like that. My now 14-year-old, she does speak on the stage, but she didn't start till she was 12. So I told the little ones, they have a little bit of time. They can't do it yet. But the first time she spoke on stage, right before she went out, she just started bawling. I mean, like, just so she's like, I can't do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Like, I'm forcing my daughter to do something she doesn't want to do. But we had talked about it so much. I knew in my heart she wanted to do this. Like, she had her story. She was ready, and she's like me. She's always enjoyed things like this. Right. And so I knew she wanted to, but in that moment, she's like, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is crazy. And I'm like, do you want to do it? Like, I felt like I should say, I'm not going to make her. But then the other side of me was like, no, get her up there. And so but she calmed down. Her music ended up, was at the end, time for her to walk on. And she walked on and she got up there and I was like, okay, breathe. You got it. Like, looking at her, trying to talk to her, and she's still crying, girl. She's still crying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I made such a mistake. I'm the worst mom ever. And then she finally caught my eye and she looked at me and we took a deep breath together. And then she delivered the best speech she's given to date. And I mean, it was absolutely incredible. And she walked off so happy and so proud. And she told me in that moment, she's like, I saw you. And then I felt God standing next to me and I knew I could do it. And what she doesn't realize is the lesson that she gave to every single person that day.
Oh, for sure.
Like getting past the fear, taking 5 seconds of courage to get up on that stage, right? Taking a breath and then doing it scared. And like, I'm like, Carrie, that speech will live on forever for you, but watching them all really step into their light and understand that who they are is exactly who God made them to be. All my kids are very different. And my oldest used to compete a lot, right? Not because they were at all the same. Like my oldest, Carrington, is one of the top in the nation in tumbling. This girl's crazy. My middle wants nothing to do with tumbling, but there was they would kind of hit on each other for, I'm better at this than you. And I'm better at this than you. And finally kind of realizing that like, we're all so different and unique, and we're all exactly who God made us to be, and using those parts of us that he needs, right? And how we can all come together. And so it's been amazing to really watch them grow. My middle one's incredibly good at school, and so they're all so different, but them realizing that they can chase their dreams. I always tell them the story of Mr. Jones. They all know it. They all want to share it with every single person. And in my book, in our past book, our collaboration book, I let Carrington write a chapter in that. And at the end, she said, she told the story of Mr. Jones. And at the end, she said, I don't want to be like Mr. Jones. I want to be like my mom. I want to chase every dream that God has before me. I want everything that God has promised me while I'm here on this earth. And I was like, that is awesome that they see that. And girl, they pretend like they're me sometimes. And it just like warms my heart. like they'll be on stage, upstairs with a microphone, especially my littles, and like giving us their stuffed animals. And I'm like, that makes me so happy. But like, they're such God-loving kids. And I try to teach them so much. When they have questions, I try to answer them, or if I don't know the answer, find the answer, especially pertaining to the Bible and all the things. And so seeing them really be vulnerable with that and talk about God with their friends warms my heart so much, so much. So yeah, they're incredible. They're just the best. So.
Well, if my video was working right now, you totally would have seen that I got all teary-eyed because it's so beautiful. Like, it's so powerful just thinking about Carrington being on stage and finding you, like finding your face and realizing like, okay, mom's here, God's here, I can do this. Like what she would have missed if you hadn't said yes. And just how much farther ahead your girls are than you were, at their age.
Oh my gosh.
I just love seeing moms empowering their girls to be free and to walk in their giftings. Like, what's this next generation going to do? I just don't even know, but it's
my middle. Okay. I have, all my old boutique stuff. I got out of the boutique business when speaking started to take off. And so all that old boutique stuff's downstairs. I should probably do something with it. That's okay, because my middle has literally been like running a little business at school. I had to say,
wow,
AJ, like, babe, we can't be doing that at school. But like, wow, like to be that age and like understand how you can run your own business, and
seriously,
and it blows my mind, because that is not the kind of things that I was thinking about when I was in 9,
No.
And she's like, oh yeah, I've made like $20. And I'm like, cool. So like, what's your profit and loss here? And she's like, well, you paid for everything. Like, I'm like, oh, so like, I'm not getting any from this. Cool. But, yeah, it's just really cool. Like, they know so much and have really, not just about business, but about faith. Like I've been able to speak to them so much, even though, like I told you, after my mom passed away, like my faith was shook, like I promised my mom I would always have faith, but I was mad. I was angry. I felt like God took the wrong person. And so, but to be able to share that with them and like show them all of it too. They've seen me cry. They've seen me have moments of failing, but getting back up.
Yeah.
And getting to see me do that, like that, they're just so strong. And I can't wait to see what they do. Like, they are world changers, 100%.
So cool. Like, talk about legacy. That's incredible. Well, my dear, I just think you're amazing. And I love chatting with you. And I'm so glad that we got to spend this time together today. I would love for you to just share whatever you would like to in closing, and also let us know where we can connect with you. I'll put everything in the show notes, but if you just want to tell us like, what's the best way to connect with you and get involved?
Absolutely. So what I feel called to share right now is that the dream on your heart is not meant to be optional. God placed it on you because you're meant to accomplish it, because you're meant to go for it. That is your purpose. That's why you're here. This is your moment. It's your time. Embrace your ambition, you guys. That on your heart, it's not meant to be optional. It's meant to be what you do. And I think whatever it is that's holding you back, whether you feel selfish when you go for it, or whether you have self-doubt or fear, you've got to have 5 seconds of courage and push past that. That's all it takes, is 5 seconds of courage to change your life. Because I promise you, someone's watching you, whether it's your kids or whether it's someone else, someone's watching you, and they need to see you go after that dream. They need to know that the dream is non-negotiable. It's not optional. They need to know that it's okay to step out and to do that. And so that puts a responsibility on you, right? To do it, to at least try. And so you guys can find me on all the places. It's at Ashlee Fay Inspires, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I've been trying to grow my TikTok.
Nice.
TikTok. Okay. My Facebook page has been big for a while. And so I'm new to TikTok. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then it's my Linktree is Linktree Ashlee Fay. Everything is on there. So that's like the easiest route. But if you're super interested in Embrace Your Ambition, it's eyambition.com.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, thank you. I'm inspired. I'm sure everyone who has been listening is inspired as well. You're a beautiful human. I'm so glad to know you.
Thank
and
you.
We'll chat soon. Okay.
Yes. Sounds good.
Okay. Bye, friend.
Bye.